Hey folks, this is Tracy from Tracy Lewis Performance, formerly RX Performance. What we're going to be doing today is doing a true full-time evacuation catch can installation on a 2018 F-150 with the 5-liter V8. And we'll go through all the steps and explain how it works and go from there. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's Tracy here from Tracy Lewis Performance, and what we've got is a 2018 F-150 with the 5-liter. That's still a port injection engine, so they don't have the intake valve coking. But we're going to show the installation of our monster air oil separating crankcase evacuation system. Quite a bit more than a catch can. This is the latest. And this should be pretty close to the same all the way up to current for the 5-liter. And first thing, we'll go over the tools you're going to need. Flat blade screwdriver, a good hose cutter, some brake clean, some RTV. You're going to need of 11 millimeter or 7/16 inch wrenches, a ratchet, and a 1/2 inch drill bit and drill. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put the 10 millimeter on here. This bolt that holds the coolant overflow tank, we're going to take loose. We're going to gather the two parts of the bracket. You can see this offset one has a little bend. That can be bent easy enough in a vise to get the angle just right. You're going to lift up the end slightly, put it in, and that stock bolt will go back in. We're going to tighten the long L on the bottom here. So that we can have it snug, but be able to pivot it. Back together. We're going to pivot this so we've got it in the angle that best fits. Don't over tighten because you can strip. That's just a 10 millimeter. Take the billet clamp to 11 millimeter or 7/16. Take both of them out. Don't drop them down by the radiator. Fasten this into the two slots of the lower portion of the bracket. Slide it up to the top. Take a 11 millimeter or 7/16 inch open end wrench, or box end wrench, and tighten it up. They're both tight. Make sure we've got it ready to go. We're going to take the main separator, and this is the drain. Crossways is closed, straight up and down is open. When you go to drain this, you just place a Gatorade bottle or similar underneath, and empty water bottle will work. Solo cups will eat through from the raw fuel and acids, so that's not a good one to use. You're going to drive it probably 1,000 miles or so before you do your first drain, and then determine how much it's going to be covering. Now internally, baffle system in here, 1/3 full is about the fullest you want to let it get to maintain full effectiveness, which is 95% efficient. And no other design on the market comes close. We will put the flat bait screwdriver in the gap for the billet clamp, and then we will, so that we can rotate our fittings to fit and go the directions we need, millimeter or 7/16. There aren't many different sizes that you're going to need to do this. It's pretty simple. Tighten it up till it clamps on. See that gap close up. I'll begin the connecting of the different lines. Everything is going to retain the same PCV system functions in every way. It retains a closed, compliant system and will only improve each of those functions. And the main benefits are going to be increase 10% plus in fuel economy by eliminating most oil-caused detonation. And we're going to be able to extend oil changes at least twice as long, supported by oil analysis to show, as we're removing most of the contaminants before they can mix with the oil contaminating it, that oil stays cleaner longer and saves you money that way, as well as the fuel economy. I'm going to remove this portion of the air box. You can get, by just pressing in, it releases on the tab. This tab will pull over and release, and we're also taking this side off. And the tip is put this away and save each of these so it can be put back to stock if you so desire. No need to cut any lines. So this is the fresh or the clean side we're dealing with first. It's getting its filtered fresh air directly from the air box into the driver's side valve cover, and then that pulls the fresh air down through the crankcase, flushing and making up for the foul contaminated vapors that were evacuating or sucking out the passenger side. So we'll get to that side, the dirty or foul side, shortly. First thing we're going to do here is remove the main air tube. And as we've got this off, it's a nice, tight, good ring-sealed engine. We don't have oil in the tube like we often do find. So that's a good sign this motor's in good shape. So this is how it did mount. So we're going to go here, and our Venturi valve generates vacuum for when you're accelerating. The intake manifold vacuum is used for primary evacuation suction. The Venturi valve will kick in anytime that you're accelerating and your throttle body blade is open. There will be no usable intake manifold vacuum during those periods, so this is a critical part of being a full-time evacuation. We're taking a 1/2-inch drill bit. We're going to look at a little section here that's got a mold circle. And that will be where we're going to drill in. Once you get it straight in, you're going to tilt and ream because the Venturi valve must be mounted at a 45-degree angle, and that's what it'll look like when it's done. So we test fit it. We see that it does fit in the correct position. We're going to take some of the shavings that are stuck here off with a pocket knife. We want a good bond, so we're also going to use a little brake clean, or rubbing alcohol works well as you're going to clean that surface good. Okay, so we're going to apply a generous bead of RTV. I prefer Permatex Right Stuff. This goes in at a 45-degree angle, so the portion protruding into the tube is pointed toward the throttle body. It's about 24 hours to totally cure. We're just going to take some masking tape, painter's tape, and we're going to secure it so it doesn't come loose. Take our clean side separator. Now this is a billet piece that in the event crankcase pressure would overpower the vacuum, this traps oil and keeps it from being ingested upstream of the throttle body. Again, we looked inside. This one didn't have that problem, but this is included with each kit anyway. So, and this will connect to the main air box again, where this tube originally was. Change our nozzles here. And tighten them back up with the adjustable wrench later. And we're going to move to the passenger side. Same type of OEM connectors with simple clips to release. And this is foldable, which is normal. So as you can see, it's just dripping oil both on the valve cover side and the intake manifold side. So this has been ingesting, pulling oil directly into the intake air charge, into the intake manifold, and that causes detonation and is not good at all for your engine. It creates knock. The knock then causes the ECU to pull timing, and your power and your fuel economy suffer both because it's not running at peak efficiency. Another thing to look at when you're this far is your throttle body. This one is extremely dirty. So we're going to just open it and wipe some now, but done properly, that would want to be removed. And you can see just wiping a rag in there what we get. That's from the oil ingestion. We're going to run our line from the passenger side valve cover to the inlet of the can, which is always the center fitting. Now, this customer opted for the braided line option, which functionally doesn't make a difference. It's for curing. Now we're using the braided line. So this type of cutter is the proper cutter. It is adjustable, so you can tighten it up. This cutter here you can get at Harbor Freight, does a good job too, but it does dull fast. We use this for the standard hose. So we're going to test fit where we're going to need to be here first, and we're going to want this to tuck up under. So I'm going to see what I need for length, and we're going to, so we're putting on these AN easy clamps. Looks just like AN fitting, has a screw clamp. Okay, now we include the genuine Ford quick disconnects like the stock ones have. You're going to push the easy clamp on. You're then going to place the fitting in the disconnect so that the clamp will be hidden once it's snapped on. And as this is the inlet, no check valve goes on this one. Simply push, snaps right on, just like stock. This is going to go underneath here. That this is where we're going to want to cut it. And you can be creative if you'd like your routing a little bit different. Just let us know, or just be creative. So I'm going to grab another easy clamp and another fitting. Slide the easy clamp again over the end. We're going to put the straight fitting in, and then we will tighten the clamp. I don't put the clamp in. I mean, don't put the fitting on this one because it's going onto the AN fitting on the can. Air. Next one we're doing is going to use the straight fitting. This will be straight fitting here. And we're going to rotate it so it's on the hidden side. Going to snap that onto the intake manifold vacuum source, and then we're going to plumb in primary check valve. You're going to want to blow through these to see the direction of flow. They must flow away from the can. This is going to flow toward the intake manifold. So we're going to cut a section of this line out. Going to grab 3 more of the easy clamps. Now you skip these steps if it's just the standard. And standard hose, you just slide it on because it's all push lock. Rotate to conceal, and screw this one on. We'll go on to one of the outlets. Doesn't matter which outlet. They both come from the same outlet chamber internally. And this again is the only design on the market that does not commingle the contaminant-laden incoming vapors with the outgoing cleaned vapors. Every other design, no matter what they claim, if you look inside, they can't achieve more than 40% effectiveness because they keep mixing the constantly entering oil-laden vapors with the scrubbed vapors. And at this time, we'll be reinstalling the main air intake tube. What we just did here is the Venturi valve location of the drill hole was a little bit too far down, so just measure about 1 inch up so that you're getting it where it's not interfering with the coolant tank, and then it's easy enough to connect to the second outlet. Again, the check valves flow away from the can in the 2 outer outlet lines. Now we simply plug back in, and we're going to do the clean side from here to here last. We're taking the 2 stock lines, and they'll be put away, saved. Measure what we're going to need here, and that should be a 90. Okay, I'm going to pop the clean side back off. Connect this line here. Make sure to tighten that clamp on this one. Last part, clean side separator, no check valves, that snap into place and everything like it is stock. If it had the standard lines, it would actually even look stock other than the can itself, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to start it up, let it idle, and check for any vacuum leaks. It should run no different. Nothing has changed as far as air-fuel ratio or anything else. Still is a sealed system, a closed system. Meets emissions compliance in most states. Not in California. We don't have CARB cert yet. We're working on it. And that's it.